Electricity in the kitchen? I just can't see the use for it. I don't think it'll catch on. That's what Mrs. Patmore had to say in Downton Abbey about electricity in the kitchen. Fast forward 100 years and you might be thinking, Bitcoin? I just don't see the point of that. I just can't see that it'll catch on. If you've clicked on this video, you might be asking questions like, should I buy Bitcoin now? What even is Bitcoin? What even is money? My name's Dav Morse. I'm here to inspire and educate, encourage and equip you to be good stewards of your money whilst you're here on earth, and to bless other people and be generous and affect the world in bigger ways than more than just yourself. Let's answer those few questions. What is money? We all know what money is, right? It's this and this. But is it that simple? If you think about it, what makes this worth anything? It doesn't do anything, apart from maybe you could put it under a leg of a chair or a leg of a table that's wonky, but it doesn't actually do anything. So let's look at some of the characteristics of money and let's see why we assign value to bits of paper and coins like this. First of all, it's a store of value. It's something that you can keep, which you could then use in the future to buy other stuff. Before humans invented money, we needed to have what was called a coincidence of needs. That means if we made something like flour, we needed to find somebody who needed flour who also could give us what we wanted in return. So let's just say I was a farmer, I made some flour and I said, oh, hello sir, I would like to exchange my flour for a whiteboard pen. Great, we can make that trade, no worries. Now the problem is, if I can't find somebody who wants to change with me, then that makes it very difficult. Money is divisible, which means you can break it up. So if you've got £100, you can split it up into smaller parts. If you've got £1, you can split it up into smaller parts. You can split it up into pence. Now before we had money, I needed to be able to swap this for something else. Now, if I wanted to swap this much flour for a cow, then that's not going to really happen. I needed to have a lot more flour in exchange for that cow. They can't just chop a bit of cow off and give it to me. Divisibility solves the problem of a coincidence of amount. It's movable. This and this and this is really easy to take with you wherever you go. So if I want to get Whitstable oysters and I'm going to sell my Cardiff grown flour, then I need to go to Whitstable with my flour. Now that might be relatively straightforward with a bag of flour, but what if I was selling horses or selling pigs? I'm not going to take all my pigs with me to Whitstable. It's a long way. And it is acceptable. I know that if I go anywhere in the UK, they're going to take this and they're going to believe that it is worth £5. This is going to be worth £2. Wherever I go in the UK, I can use this because it's accepted across the UK. I might really want a whiteboard pen that they're selling, but they say, well, I don't want flour, I want sugar. And I haven't got any sugar. So I'm stuck in this problem of not having a way of exchanging. So people invented money to get over these problems. They invented money to get over the problem of coincidence of needs, coincidence of amount, coincidence of place, because you could divide money up, you could exchange it, you could keep it, you could travel with it. Money has to be rare as well. You can't have any Tommy, Dick or Sally creating money. We'll leave that to the governments. If you create money, then it means that it becomes less valuable. It's called inflation. So now that we know what money is something that stores value, it is divisible, it is transportable and is acceptable. Let's look at Bitcoin. What even is Bitcoin? Well, the easiest way of explaining it is that Bitcoin is a digital currency. So instead of this and this, we end up with this and this. Back in 2008, as a response to the financial crisis, a mysterious character known as Satoshi Nakamoto wrote a computer program which rewarded people for solving mathematical problems. Now, the reward was a digital asset called Bitcoin. Now, the process of solving those mathematical problems is called mining, and it's done using what's called blockchain technology. Now, the blockchain is just a network of computers which all agree that this is who owns the Bitcoin. This is what's happened. It's essentially a ledger, a public record of who's created what Bitcoins, who's mined what Bitcoins, who sold which Bitcoins to who. But it's all anonymous. It's all decentralized. So the idea was that it was going to be decentralized away from banks and away from governments. Now, if you think of the pound as being the currency of the UK, the yen as being the currency of Japan, the dong being the currency of Vietnam, then you can think of Bitcoin as being the original currency of the internet. So how does Bitcoin compare to money? How does it hold up against those values that we had for money? Well, is it divisible? Yes. One Bitcoin can be split up into 100 million different parts. So each part is called a Satoshi, named after Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious figure who created the Bitcoin, and is much more divisible than the dollar or the pound. A pound you can only split up into 100 parts. A Bitcoin you can split up into 100 million parts. Point number 3, movability. Is it transportable? Well, the whole point of Bitcoin is that you can transport Bitcoin from your wallet to somebody else's wallet anywhere in the world, and it doesn't have to go through a bank, it doesn't have to go through the governments, just a click of a button and your money appears in somebody else's wallet. Now, the 4th point, this is where it starts to get a bit tricky. Acceptability. Do people accept it? Well, money is only worth anything because people accept it. This is only worth something because you and I agree that it's worth money. This and this is worth £5, £2. Because we agree on that, then that means that it's what it's worth. We can use it as a medium of exchange. Acceptability for Bitcoin is increasing massively. There are big players coming into the space. Players like PayPal and Square are all putting money into cryptocurrency. So more and more people are accepting that Bitcoin is for real. This is not a bubble. People are believing that Bitcoin is actually worth something. And the more people that believe it, the more secure it becomes as a place to store value. It's also scarce. Because of the programming that Satoshi Nakamoto did right at the beginning, there is only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. There's not going to ever be any more than that. So there is scarcity. That is a rare commodity. So Bitcoin does look like it stacks up increasingly with those values for money that we have. Which brings us to the question you've all been waiting for. Should I buy Bitcoin now? Let me just say that I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a cryptocurrency expert. I am not telling you to invest in anything. I am just sharing the pros and the cons and what I personally am doing. Okay, some of the cons for Bitcoin. Volatility, which means the price changes up and down, up and down. It's huge. It is bigger than almost any other asset class. Back in 2020, on January the 8th, one Bitcoin could buy you this. Skip forward a year to January 2021, January the 8th, and one Bitcoin could buy you this. Now, until the volatility comes down significantly, it is not going to be able to be used as a form of buying a Starbucks. Back in 2010, a chap from America bought 2 pizzas for a $25 value for 10,000 Bitcoin. That's how much 10,000 Bitcoin was worth back in 2010, $25. Now that would be almost 280 million pounds. 280 million pounds for 2 pizzas. Those are expensive pizzas. So until the volatility comes down, which it certainly has done since 2009, then it's not going to be very easy to use it as a medium of exchange. Another con is you could lose it. Like this guy in Newport, just down the road from me. Do not buy Bitcoin unless you're prepared to lose it all. Only invest what you're comfortable with losing. The pros for Bitcoin, well, we've already said it's decentralized. That means that The governments aren't going to be in control. The banks aren't going to be in control of it. There's a limited supply. There's only 21 million of them, so they can't be inflated in value. And because of the blockchain technology, they can't be forged either. Another pro is that it's got massive upside potential, which means that that is going to massively increase your ability to be generous and to bless those around you. So what am I doing? Well, I bought a small fraction of a Bitcoin back when Bitcoins were priced at £14,500, and now one Bitcoin at the time of recording is around 26,000, almost £27,000. So it's almost doubled in value. Now, I've only invested a small percentage. I've only invested 1% of my investable assets into Bitcoin, and it's grown to almost 2%. So I'm just going to pound cost average in and hodl on for my life. Bitcoin reference. If change is afoot, then I don't want to be like Mrs. Patmore, thinking that electricity isn't going to change the world. If Bitcoin's going to change the world, then I want to be part of that ride. And plus I quite enjoy the up and down. It trains me to accept volatility. If you decide that you want to join the crazy ride that is Bitcoin, then I've got a link in the description below. I use a company called Coinbase. I really trust them. And if you sign up with my link, then you get some free crypto. I get some free crypto. It's win-win-win. But please don't invest more than you are willing to lose. Till next time, peace out. I will exchange you this flower for a house. Electricity in the kitchen. I don't think that'll catch on. I don't think it'll catch on. It's no good me saying I will exchange you my daughter for 1,000 camel.